Hey everyone, welcome back to our After Effects Complete course. Today, we'll dive into creating dynamic animations, from keyframes and easing to advanced techniques like shape layers and motion paths. Whether you're making title sequences or explainer videos, this tutorial will help you bring your projects to life. Let's get started. Alright, so right now I'm in After Effects. We will begin by creating a new composition. Let's call this one main. The width and height will be 1920 by 1080, framed at 30 FPS, and the duration can be 10 seconds. Click OK. Now we are going to first type our text. To do that, select the text tool and type your text. Change the font of your text to what you want. Align your text vertically and horizontally in the Align panel. Hold the Control key and double-click on the Anchor tool to move the anchor point to the center. Next, we are going to separate the text into individual characters. To do this, select this layer and press Ctrl+D. Now I'm going to just type F over here. Let's select this F layer and press Ctrl+D. Now let's type I. In the same way, you can just duplicate it and replace it with all the characters in your word. Once you have all the characters, select all the layers, hold the Control key, and double-click on the Anchor tool to move the anchor point to the center. Okay, now go to Effects and search for Fill. Apply this effect to your text layer. Now I'm going to align the words where we have these in the main character. Select all the text layers and press P to adjust their positions. Let me do this and fast forward. Here you go. Now we are done with this, so we don't need the space layer. We delete this one. Now, I also need a dot. I'm going to select the Ellipse tool, select the fill color for the dot that you want, and simply click and hold down the Shift key so that it creates an accurate circle. Let me adjust its position. Now it looks good. Okay, now select all the text layers and press U to open their position and rotation properties. Click on the stopwatch icons to add keyframes on all the layers because this is going to be the last position of the text. Move all the keyframes to 8 seconds. Now I'm going to select all the characters and place them randomly. Let's place them something like this. Okay, I think this is looking fine. Move the dot to the center. Select all the layers and press R to rotate them all randomly, or you can rotate them with the rotation tool. Okay, now select all the text layers and press U to open their position and rotation properties. Select all these keyframes and move them to 7 seconds. Now let's animate our dot. To do this, press P on the shape layer. Hold Ctrl and double-click on the Anchor tool to move the anchor point to the center. Okay, now click on the stopwatch icon to add a keyframe. Move the playhead to 5 frames and move the ball a little bit down to add a bounce effect. Again, move the playhead 10 frames and move the ball somewhere that it touches the eye properly. Again, move the playhead 10 frames and move the ball down so that it touches the F, something like that. Now I want this to quickly move to E, so I'm going to just move 10 frames and let's move it to E. After that, I want it to go back to V. Again, let's move a couple of frames ahead and let's move it to V. After that, I want it to go somewhere around here that it touches with R, so I'm going to just move 10 frames and let's move it to R, something like that. Again, move the playhead 10 frames and move the ball down so that it touches R. Now move the playhead ahead and move the ball to its original position. Here you can see we have this sort of animation. Now click on this graph option. Here we can adjust the speed of the animation between the keyframes. Now I am going to select this keyframe when it touches I, and I want this ball to quickly move to F when it touches I. So adjust its graph something like that. Now I select the keyframe when it touches E and adjust the graph like that to increase the animation speed. After that, I am going to do the same thing with this keyframe. In the end, I want this ball to go smoothly to its last position, so we adjust its graph like that. Let's preview that. Now we work on the text animation. In order to view this much better, we can apply the echo effect so that we have a trail behind our ball. To do that, navigate to Effects and search for Echo. Drag and drop this effect onto the shape layer. In Effects Control, change the echo time value to -0.001 and the number of echoes to 50. Here you can see that we have a trail behind our ball. Okay, now move the playhead to the keyframe when the ball touches I. Press U on the text layer I to open its position and rotation properties. Add keyframes by clicking on these options. Move the playhead 3 to 4 frames and add keyframes. Change its position and add some rotation. Here we have this type of animation. Do the same thing with all the text layers when the ball touches them. Let's preview this. Okay, now select all the text layers and press U and delete all these keyframes. Select these keyframes and press F9 to make it ease. Now select the text layer I and move these keyframes backward when the ball touches F, like that. Select the text layer F and move these keyframes backward when the ball touches E. Do the same thing with all the text layers. Okay, now adjust the last position of the dot. To do this, delete the previous keyframe and add a new keyframe and adjust its position. Let's preview the result. That's all for today's introduction to motion graphics. In the next part, we'll talk about VFX compositing, and I'll also show you how to import your videos in MP4 or other formats. If you have not watched our previous videos on After Effects, go and watch them. The link is in the description. I hope you found this video helpful and learned some new tips and techniques to enhance your projects. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of our upcoming videos.